everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Shalini and I make videos about technology, data science, professional development advice, and more. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe down below, that way you don't miss any videos. Today, I'm sharing things that I wish I knew before my data science internships. So data science as a term is very broad, and being a data science intern is also a very broad term. Companies define data science very differently based on what type of industry they're in, how big the company is, and who their target audience or consumers are. In the past, I've been a data science intern at several different companies, and the work I've done in each of those internships has been completely different. In one of them, I was doing more data engineering and data processing work. In another one, I was querying and doing analytics on behaviors. And in another one, I was building machine learning models. I never anticipated it before doing the internships, but there are a lot of things that you could be doing as a data science intern. Based on that, let's get into the things that I wish I knew before my data science internships and what I've learned from them. Let's go. So first off, you probably won't be an expert in all the tools and technologies that you will use during the internship, but you want to be open to learning about all of them. Based on how large or small the company is that you're interning at, they will be implementing different infrastructures. They might be working with big data technologies like Hadoop, Spark, Airflow, and others. It's fine if you've never used them before. Personally, I didn't know much about them either before going into my internship. It's hard to get practical knowledge about some of these tools without being in an actual work setting first, but it's something that you will definitely get to learn more about as you work through your internship. You will get to learn about the stack and how data scientists at the company use all of these different tools, and even get to try them out by yourself. If you don't know something, learn about it during your internship. Ask lots of questions, think about what the tool is being used for, what stage of the data science lifecycle is being used at, what's the purpose of even using that tool. In general, get to learn more about the technologies on the job. All of that being said, there are a lot of things that you will be learning on the job, so you want to make sure that you have the basics down really well. Especially SQL. SQL was the common language that I used across all of my different internships. Company data is usually stored in the cloud in some database or data warehouse, and the way you access that data is by querying it using SQL. A SQL query has a very basic structure and uses keywords like select, where, group by, and more, but it is very powerful and used a lot. Make sure you know about the keywords, the format, how to use SQL, do some practice examples online. There are a lot of resources online in order to help you get more familiar with SQL. So SQL is a super important part of querying your data. That way you can actually do some analysis with that data. Based on what specific projects you're working on, it's also pretty important to know some basic Python or R, statistics concepts, some machine learning models, and exploratory data analysis techniques. All of these tend to be pretty common among data science projects, so knowing them before your internship can help give you a boost. Understanding the domain and the data is a really important part of a data science internship, and is something I started to realize more and more as I went through all my internships. Data science is a combination of many different things: coding, statistics, and there's also the domain emphasis. Part of this means you have to understand the data and how the numbers connect to the domain or the industry that the company is in. You can't just look at the data blindly and analyze some random numbers without understanding what it really means. You have to connect it to the domain that the company is in and relate it to the product. This is probably the hardest part to prep for a data science internship. It really takes understanding the data, the business, the product, and looking at everything in the company from this perspective. To help with this, you can research the company and try thinking about how the data would look. Think about the thought process and the business reasoning behind some previous data science projects. Really try to understand how the projects connect to the domain and help make business decisions. Most of your time will be spent querying and cleaning the data. If you ask any data scientist what they spend their time on, they will most probably say that they spend most of their time cleaning the data. This is pretty accurate for an intern too, in my experience. In order to do any type of analysis or modeling, you have to get the data first of all, and then prep it for the analysis. This requires querying, which goes back to those SQL skills. And it requires data processing and cleaning. Taking care of corrupted values, nulls, formatting, and sampling are all included in this along with other things. This is a pretty key part to the whole process. This is the foundational part to make sure that the analysis, testing, and modeling works in the later stages. The work as a data science intern isn't just about the technical skills and the numbers. You have to present the work as a story. After the analysis is done, the work isn't done yet. You have to see what the story of the data is and present your insights to people, whether it's execs, your team, product managers, or other people. Proper presentation is so important for making sure that your analysis is understood by other people. Being an intern, there are usually final project presentations, but being a data science intern, these presentations are even more important to share the work and the insights and make sure everyone understands the data, the story, and the results. Before going into the internship, I never expected to spend that much time on a presentation. But as an intern, I ended up spending many days working on this presentation, and all the slides, and getting them reviewed before even presenting. The presentation is the culmination of all the data analysis and work that you've been doing. So it is very important to focus on that as a data science intern. There is a lot that I've learned about data science from my first internship all the way to now in grad school. Those were a few things that I learned during the course of my data science internships. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe to my channel. I post on Sundays and Thursdays, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!